I'm now going to talk a little bit about the Women's Hospitality Network, which is a project that is in existence in the diocese currently in Asbury Park, and it is a project of both Trinity Church and St. Augustine's Church in collaboration. And the Women's Hospitality Network is a multiracial network that houses women experiencing homelessness in the months of December, January, February, and March, and is also a transitional program where we hope to build relationships with the women staying in there through the winter months and then find them permanent housing. And over the last 4 years that we have been in existence, we've found about 160 women permanent housing and transition. And it's been a really beautiful experiment. And I'll talk a little bit more about it after a short video so you can actually kind of see what we've been doing with a collaboration about 7 different churches here in Asbury Park. So if we could show that clip now, that would be great.
Karen is homeless. On this night, though, she has a warm place to rest her head.
If I didn't have this, I'd be out in the street, sleeping on a bench or something.
Instead of a park bench, Karen's sleeping inside the Second Baptist Church of Asbury Park. It's part of the newly formed Women's Hospitality Network, comprised of 5 churches in and around Asbury Park. Together, parishioners and volunteers offer emergency housing for single women 7 nights a week during the coldest months of the year, December through March. It's a place where they enjoy a hot meal, sing by the piano, play games, or just talk.
We believe that housing is a human right and no one should be living on the street. I think the idea is that we build relationship with them and know what they need, and the hope is that after the 3 or 4 months that they stay here, that they have housing.
I was homeless myself, so I understand what these ladies are going through.
It all started a year ago when Derek Minno-Bloom of Trinity Church and residents who experienced homelessness themselves came together. They realized there weren't enough beds for homeless single women looking for shelter, says Derek. So they reached out to local churches and created the network. They modeled their program after a similar network in Freehold. What is it like being homeless?
Sometimes you're scared to know where your meal is. Sometimes you're scared to know where you're going to lay your head at. Sometimes, as a female, you got to be careful where you go.
Which is why Brittany says she's so grateful for the network. Guests are welcome to rotate from church to church all week long. And Derek says they're also able to meet with a social worker at some of the congregations. Members of the Second Baptist Church donated 15 new cots, pillows, blankets, sheets, towels, and more. And other organizations in the community donated products like deodorant, soap, and toothpaste. It's all kept in these storage bins. Women are given the products and they're able to take them from church to church.
Every other church that's part of this has really took on us as a family. When all other stuff goes down, they actually sit down with us, eat dinner, spend time with us, ask if we need toiletries, and God knows else what. And they really mean from the heart that we care.
They just need a lot of love. You know, they come here, you can't look down on people when they come into you in this situation. You got to, like my daughter said, you got to love the hell out of them.
And what it does is it restores their sense of dignity.
I'm blessed because I'm able to help someone, to give them a smile, to help them make their bed, to just to give them some words of encouragement, let them know it's okay.
It's a duty to help those who can't help themselves.
On this night, volunteers with the nonprofit Food Not Bombs warm up the dinner they prepared for the guests.
You know, as a community, we can come together and help not only recover the food that would otherwise go to waste, but then redistribute it, prepare it and offer it to people that can use it.
Before arriving each evening, the women call a hotline number to check in and be screened. In the morning, they're given a light breakfast and leave with sandwiches, snacks, and on this day, a little encouragement from local Joseph Brown, who used to be homeless himself.
Keep on moving, keep on pushing, don't give up. There's people out here that will help you.
Network coordinators here say being homeless should not define these women.
We have some people in the network who are very talented, and they're here because of mental health issues, and they just need a little bit of support to be able to reconnect and get back control of their lives.
Both Karen and Brittany have housing vouchers and are looking for apartments, though they say they'll always feel as though they have a home of sorts in these churches.
It doesn't feel like a shelter. It feels like a whole community that cares about everybody.
In Asbury Park, I'm Lauren Wonko, NJTV News.
A few more minutes to talk about the Women's Hospitality Network. And I think one of the things that's really exciting about the network is the model is not top down, but bottom up. And the way we organize this is about 5 years, we asked about 7 or 8 people experiencing homelessness to speak at an event about homelessness. And they agreed to speak, and we had them speak in front of about 100 people. And they were so powerful that night, 2 or 3 people found places to go. People that were listening just invited them into their houses, which is really exciting when the church becomes the church and shares their space like the first century church. But afterwards, I said, y'all are so powerful, we should organize. And about 2 weeks later, we got together and we organized a meeting, and mostly it was Black men. And we said, what is the most important issue, or what is the biggest oppression homeless folks experience here in Asbury? And they said, there's no beds for single women experiencing homelessness. And so we made flyers and we had everybody go out to all the different churches to create this network. And, that was, this year will be 5 years ago. And like I said, we've housed over about 160 women, and we've had over 200 or 220 people in the network as well. And lastly, the exciting part about this network, it also has an anti-racist focus, and it is a multiracial network. And for those who know Asbury Park, the city is divided by class and race. And this network specifically has looked to kind of crush those boundaries and work together in solidarity. And the beauty is there's different denominations. People have different ideas about gender and sexuality, about social justice and these things. And we've put those aside to focus on people experiencing homelessness and the great injustice in this country. Because currently today, we have anywhere between 500 and 600,000 people who are experiencing homelessness in a first world country. And so we created this network to make a difference, but also to publicly talk about people experiencing homelessness and how this is an injustice that we can change. It doesn't need to happen. And we ultimately believe that housing is a human right.